Even saying the title drives anger into me. Watch. Space Zombie test of my existence! Space Zombie Bingo! And how do I describe my feelings about trauma? You know how Jack Buchanan feels about the asylum? Kinda like that. I hate everything these idiots put out. Turns out when you randomly pick out a movie by Troma, it turns out to be one of the worst things you've ever seen in your entire life. And before anyone goes, Silver, it's meant to be bad and entertaining. You're not the target audience. Listen, I love B movies, but this is less gamma and more... Yes, thank you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go cleanse my soul by taking a long bath in boiling bleach. Bye! You know what? I don't care how bad this movie is. I just got done watching Space Zombie Bingo, and all I know about this film is that Troma doesn't own it. So that immediately makes it 10 times better than the crap I had to review last time. Sledgehammer is a 1983, oh, it's this kind of movie. The kind of movie that was shot on a cheap video camera so it looks like a whole movie gone wrong. I think the cinema snob said it best. Nobody wants to see them. But back in the 80s, these things were very easy to release. And thanks to companies like Lionsgate, they still kind of are. So the film opens with some of the best graphics ever to be put out by the Sega CD and a nearly catchy theme. Surprisingly eerie and subtle for a movie called Sledgehammer. We cut to a house in the middle of nowhere as we see how every parent responded after finding out their child hit puberty.
You're not gonna say another word this evening! Not one!
By the way, get used to this slow-mo. There's enough scenes with it in this movie to make a drinking game. So after locking her son in the closet, yeah, I'm sure that's all sorts of legal these days, the mother goes to have sex with her boyfriend.
Take care of that little bastard. He won't be bothering us again tonight.
It's just what I wanted to hear.
Unfortunately for them and fortunately for us, their plans are cut short when the boyfriend is beaten to death with a hammer and the mother does her best oh crap look. Yes, we get it, movie. You like slow motion and the acting is horrible. Move on! If you actually have anything else. After the director realizes time is money, the mother is beaten to death by the same unseen killer. Spoiler alert, it's the kid. We then cut to years later where we see a group of friends going to the same house to party. I would say teenagers, but most of them are old enough to be retired war veterans. And they don't really say how old they're supposed to be, nor do I recall them giving any other reason to going to the house than the party, so whatever.
Come on, Joni, smile a little bit. Let's have some fun. It's what we're here for, remember? Joni, what's wrong?
No, what's wrong?
Can't we just forget about it for the next few days and have some fun?
Jack, spending a few days up here isn't gonna make me feel any different. So we have fun. It's not gonna change anything.
Well, what do you want me to do? I just want you to have a good time.
I'd ask what's wrong and what she's so upset about, but I don't care. So, looks like these two are getting some alone time. Anything of interest gonna happen? Okay, guess not. Meanwhile, John here is investigating a nearby tool shed. Okay, is something gonna happen? Are we gonna get a jump scare? Is he gonna find anything of interest? Or... Or creepy music just plays while nothing happens. Really? Okay, I'll give the scene this. It does give me the feeling of being the only sober and or normal person at a party. And also hating the company I've chosen to surround myself with. Okay, good. A classic slasher film stalking scene. Is something gonna happen here? Oh my, it's something. This movie's too blurry. Oh, thanks, movie. I thought we were getting somewhere.
Don't waste your breath, Mary. Pigs are pigs. How much you guys got? Starved. I got $5. Yes, can't do it.
Movie, I've hung out with Big the Cat and he eats that much food every day. Not impressive. So after a dinner scene and food fight so boring and unimpressive it makes this one look decent, everyone gathers together for a seance. As we're told the creepy backstory through stock footage of the opening scene. And I don't mean they reuse some of the clips here and there, they literally show us everything all over again.
Their bodies were found a few days later by a couple of hikers. It wasn't pretty. Make no mistake, there was very little left of them. Their bones had been pounded over and over again by a madman with a sledgehammer.
I know, I saw it. It was hilarious.
The killer was never caught. The prime suspect was, of course, the woman's husband. So there was no charges brought against him. No one knows who did it.
Don't worry, the movie will give an explanation later, and it'll still be stupid.
Tonight we're going to find out who it was. We're going to call upon those spirits and find out who or what killed them.
Yeah, like I said before, it's the kid. The seance, of course, turns out to be just a prank. The seance does, however, manage to summon the spirit of the boy, and... Oh yeah, how would you like to be in a movie called Sledgehammer and it's a kitchen knife that kills you? So later that night, or later that day for night...
If you're trying to turn me on, it's not working.
Yeah? That ghost stuff really had you going, didn't it, Tootsie?
Wow, this guy's pathetic. And look who sang that! You know, I just realized, if the ghost wasn't active until that seance, who was that stalking these guys earlier? Actually, you know what, I don't like to think that far ahead. I don't think this movie does either. And yes, this means that unlike most slasher films, the killer in this one is a ghost. That's actually kind of original. So as this guy goes upstairs and finds that his friend is missing and there's blood on the floor, these two go into another room to have sex. Hey, fine with me. Maybe this means we'll get another kill.
I came in to find Joey and there's a lot of blood on the floor.
That's it? You can do better than that. Joey could be anywhere in this old house. What makes you think he's not playing a joke on you this time?
Could be playing a joke, could be dead. Regardless, you should leave!
Okay, let's go tell the others.
No, not yet. I want to look for him first. I guess I could be wrong.
Sounds like there's something evil in this house where all my friends are. Oh well, I just won't mention it to him. Doo-dee-doo. So after these two get done having sex, we finally get a good look at the killer, and... Exactly. Look at this still frame image. This is going to haunt my nightmares for the next 3 weeks, which admittedly is a step up from this. So John goes to investigate until he comes across...
Hey, kid, come on.
Yeah, don't worry, kid. I'm just gonna carve out your face until it looks like a jack-o'-lantern. Once inside the room, he comes across what I can only assume is a leftover set from Devil Dog.
It's the kid. It's the goddamn kid.
I don't know why, but saying that makes him my favorite character. So the killer shows up, and despite being a large, hulking ghost, he seems to be having a lot of trouble with this guy. short movie. Just kidding. That might work with a zombie, but not with a ghost.
Who are you?
Mommy was really bad. I actually killed her. She took me away from Betty. She was a bad mommy.
Well, I have no idea what he just said, so I'll just pretend it was something important. You know, the attacker should just stay in his kid form to kill people. Not only can he take a hit better, but his face is apparently so hard it hurts the other person's hand. Well, whatever. After he goes from kid form to final form, he locks the girl out and tries desperately to pummel the guy. And apparently I was wrong about the killer's strength. Apparently he's able to make him internally bleed after just smashing him against the wall a couple times. So the girl tries to escape while the killer chases after her. And it's fair to point out that the stalking scenes are actually kind of suspenseful. And are one of the few times the slow motion actually helped make the movie scary. Okay, I guess I'll also give the movie this. Since the stalker in this film is a ghost, the slasher teleporting scenes actually make sense. I would say that again, he should have just stayed in his kid form, but since he's a ghost and can teleport, he shouldn't have been able to fall for that. Well, great, now how are they supposed to watch every Sonic cartoon in existence? Oh sure, that'll work. I learned that the killer's hammer can create wind powerful enough to knock people off their feet. So the killer, who I just realized has no other given name, tries to kill her until the guy regains consciousness and comes in to save her. 'Cause, yeah, I'm sure a ghost can be beaten in a fist fight. Which actually he kinda can. Oh no. So you wanna know how they defeat the ghost? He grabs his sledgehammer and beats him to death with it. Sure, that makes sense. So with the killer defeated, the two last survivors walk out of the house as... This movie was terrible! Well, this movie does have a lot of problems of its own, and it is 12 minutes longer. It's still better than the last movie I reviewed. However, it still suffers from all the problems that all shot-on-video movies have. It's boring, it drags, the camera work is horrible, the plot points make no sense, the editing is bad, the audio is bad, the acting is bad, it's just a bad, bad movie! So I will say, skip to the scenes with the killer. Otherwise, leave this movie in the garbage, where all shot-on-video movies belong. Before I end this video, I wanted to point out that in my Space Zombie Bingo review, I did use a clip from the movie Rubber, but I forgot to mention that in the credits. So hopefully I can make up for it by showing it here. See, we're good.
In the night light, do you see what you dream? All your troubles, are they what they seem? Look around you, then you may realize all the creatures, all with their lies. And I might know of our future, but then you still control the past. Only you know if you'll be together.